Any talents?
Talents. I think I'm good at selling.
Okay.
Okay.
When you were a child, did you do any kind of activities?
I was really good at, what's it called? Whenever you're really good at like an acrobat. I could have been probably a circus person.
What?
Yeah, I think I could have been.
Like, what could you do?
I could do like walking on the balancing beam. I could jump over the horse. I could like dive.
What is this real or your imagination?
I'm not lying. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. Really good at all of that.
Like climbing a rope?
No, really not very good with anything that had to do with strength, more balance. I wasn't really good at climbing the rope or pull-ups or anything.
But balance beam.
I was really good at something in gym class that you would do.
All right.
It was like this thing. It was like about that high, okay, and had handles on it. And I think it was like brown leather or something. And you would do different kind of somersaults and different jumps off of it. I swear. Maybe that was only in Catholic school, where they wanted you to make a fool of yourself. I don't know.
Okay. Or do you have any other talents besides acrobats?
Like sewing.
Okay, I bet you've never sewed anything in your life.
One time I sewed a button on. I'm good at pinning for alterations.
That is a talent.
That's a gift. That's a gift. I am really good at pinning for alterations. I really know how to decide on hem length. I'm really good at pinning for like if a pant is like ill-fitting in some way. I really know how to pin it. I was always really good at school. People would like to copy from me because I was like, would always ace the test.
Are you lying?
I'm not lying. People would copy from me. I would let them copy from me. Yeah. I never copied from anybody, but I would let other people copy from me.
That's nice of you.
I know.
Sports?
I was a basketball manager. I was.
What does that mean?
I was the manager of the basketball team.
But that doesn't mean you played basketball.
No, I didn't play it. But I'm not a bad basketball player. You've seen me play basketball.
No, I haven't.
No, I'm good. And as a kid, I played football. I did. Not lying. I was really good at
Tackling.
I was really good at tobogganing.
What is tobogganing?
That's this like snow thing.
I lived in I lived in I lived in a really hilly area.
So you went and tobogganed? Mm-hmm. I don't even know what that is.
It's like a bobsled, I think. Kind of like it.
Debbie was a bobsledder, okay.
You didn't know that. I was also really good at ice skating. What? I swear, I'm not lying. A toboggan is like a piece of wood like this, and then it rolls up like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I lived in an area that had a lot of pine trees and hills, and so I would go tobogganing.
Okay.
And where I lived, there were also a lot of hills, and not a ton of traffic. So you could actually, during the day when nobody was like coming or going from work or whatever, you could actually go down the main streets sometimes.
Did anyone get killed?
I had a friend one time, which was kind of sad. They didn't get killed, but they were riding their bike down the one really steep hill, and they lost their brakes on their bike, and they ran into a parked truck, and they walked towards me and my brother with their eye in their hand.
Ew!
Swear.
Oh my God, did they put it back in?
My brother got him back to his house,
Oh my god.
and his mother did the best she could, I guess, but he wound up with a glass eye.
What do you mean? Did she try to put it back in herself?
No, she probably called an ambulance or whatever. And he lost his eye. But
That's
he
disgusting.
came towards my brother-in-law with his eye in his hand. That was sad.
Horrible.
But his glass eye looked okay.
Did you ever have to go to the hospital as a child?
I did. One time, one time I was sleeping outside with my brother and my sister. We used to do a lot of sleep outs, sleep outside. It was instead of going camping, we'd just sleep in our backyard.
Uh-huh.
But that was what we did, and then we'd run around the neighborhood at night and whatever. So then one morning my sister decided to chase me. So she chased me, and I fell hands down on the street. And and the street had just been repaved. Did I ever tell you this story?
I'm sure.
So the street had been repaved, and it had all that gravel on it. So I had gravel in this hand, this knee, and this knee. And it was really hurting, really bad. But I didn't want to tell anybody because I didn't want them to scrub it out. So I just kept it to myself, and I tried throughout the day to sort of pick the rocks out of my hand and stuff, but it was really hurting. And then suddenly, at the end of the day, like maybe at dinner time, I looked down at my arm and I saw a red line.
Uh-huh.
And then I looked at my other arm and I saw a red line. And I tried to wipe it off because I thought maybe it was Kool-Aid or something on my arm. And then it wasn't wiping off, so I got kind of scared because I thought that seemed like that was something that I had heard about. And so I went to my mother, and my mother just started totally freaking out when she saw my hands, and then she saw those lines. And my dad, I think, was ready to go somewhere, and he was leaving, and she ran out to his car and started yelling for him to take me to the doctor, the hospital, or whatever. So I went to the doctor. They were still open or whatever. I went to the doctor's office, and I had blood poisoning going up that arm, going up that arm, going up that leg, and going up that leg.
That's
So
disgusting.
I could have died. If I went to bed that night, I probably would not have made it through the night.
So if you have blood poisoning, you get lines?
Yeah, you get a line.
Oh my God, that's really gross.
You literally get a line. Have you ever had that happen?
I don't know. Maybe, but I just know that's.
That makes
Yeah.
me kind of nauseous. I can't
Well-
film you anymore. I'm going to throw up.
Really?
Yeah.
Poison reaching your heart.
Oh my God, that's so sick.
Yeah. So that happened to me one time, and then one time I got bit by a bunch of bees,
I feel like I'm going to vomit.
and my foot like totally swelled up,
I can't do this anymore.
and my foot totally swelled up, and then I had to go to the doctor, and then they said that I was allergic to bees. But I was sick for like a week from that bee sting. I mean, a bunch of bees stung my foot, and then it just like it just kept getting worse and worse.
Do you have any scars?
I do. I have, what is it? See that scar?
Yeah.
I got that when I was like 3.
Uh-huh.
I was catching lightning bugs.
Another skill that you're really good at?
I was, you got a jar and you punched holes in the top lid. Have you ever done that, Angie?
No.
No. Back in the day, you live minimal means or whatever.
Before TV?
No, there was black and white TV. But
I don't think
no,
I've ever caught a lightning bug.
you haven't? They're really cool because they're like diamonds. So there was a field by our house, and so my mother or whoever gave me a jar, and then the jar, they'd punch holes in the lid of the jar, and then you would take this jar, and I think it was like 4 at the most, because I know I moved from that house when I was 4, so I was 4 at the most. Went into the field looking for lightning bugs, and there were just this little bug, and the little bottom of the bug is like yellow, and then you would just take the lightning bug and you'd catch it and put it in the jar and you could see it lightning. And then if you really had a lot of nerve, you could actually break the tail of the bug off and put it on your finger and it looked like you had a diamond ring.
That's sick.
And it would be bright and lightning, like a sparkling.
Yeah.
Sparkling. So that's what it did. But I accidentally fell with the jar, cut me right there.
It must have cut you really deep.
It must have cut me really bad to have that kind of a scar today. And I remember, I guess I had this cut, and then I think I had a cut on my knee as well. And I remember going into the kitchen and being really scared what was going to happen to me because I was bleeding so badly.
Wow, you must have been really scared of your parents.
And so they bandaged me up, but they never took me to the doctor or anything. So that was that. And so probably that was the fear instilled in my head by the time I was 8 or 9 and I had that other fall with the blood poisoning. It was that fear that kept me from telling.
What were they going to do to you?
I didn't know, but I didn't want to tell. I was scared.